Thank you for watching us this afternoon. My name is Pule Molebatsi. Welcome to Bophelong. There are dog lovers, and then there is Permit Mungube, who has taken this to a whole new level. He and his dogs have earned a title of modern-day superhero from us here on the show. Here is why.
Oh, that's a good man.
Calling Permit Mungube a dog lover is an understatement. He and his furry friends have improved the lives of people with visual impairment as well as physical disabilities across Africa.
I really felt like, it's changing my life. It's something that I thought maybe I wouldn't learn anything about something like that. In my life, I haven't expected, having something so big, close to science, because it's more like we work like doctors or like vets, So due to that, it really made a big difference in my life.
This is how it all began for this Zimbabwean-born mobility instructor.
I came in South Africa in 1994. Then I was coming in and out, and around 96, and I decided not I'm gonna stay. But as a youngster, so I didn't have anything that I can say, all right, I will be doing this. So I tried few things, I worked as a painter, joined the building construction. Then I moved on and I tried to play soccer in a few teams, played for Alexander United and also there was a team in Rosebank. Then my life changed around 98 when then I met Morek, Chris. I started working at Morek as a gardener. I was doing the gardening and I think I was working two times a week on her place, and then doing other piece shop in other people's houses. And then she asked me one day that, you're a youngster, you're very intelligent, why don't you do a license and then work for me in the company?
Few months later, Permit was enrolled for a course with the South African Guide Dog Association.
The Guide Dog course is a 3-year course. It's a 3-year course, which is you have to do to write exams or tests every 6 months, and those tests you have to pass them 75%. That is their pass mark. Which after you finish school and then you forget about education, and then when I come here, I was like, oh my goodness, I really gonna do something like this. Let me see how far I can go, but. I passed my first exam, and then my second one until I passed my becoming a trainer. So before you become an instructor, you become a trainer. So 2.5 years, you become a trainer, and then you write a final exam.
This was a start to a career that grew in rapid speed.
When I come here, and then I found that I got a career. I got certificates. I got something that when I go around, I can say to people, okay, I'm a guide dog instructor, but as well I can work with people. I can work with individuals. I can help people with visual impaired. So it's not only that even if I retire from a guide dog, or if I lose my job whatsoever, I would say, oh, I wasted my time there.
Like most beginners at the Guide Dog Association, he had to pay his dues.
So when you arrive, the first thing that you do, you have to work in kennels. You have to clean kennels in the morning every day. Start at 7 and finish maybe at 3, sometimes start at 8, finish at 4. But you have to clean kennels. You have to understand the hygienic inside around the kennels. So you come in the morning, you pick up poos, you make sure that you clean up, you look at the dog's health, you treat the dogs. If the dogs they got any skin problems or they got running tummies, you make sure that you are involved on that, beside being watching the kennels and hosing them. So you also look at the animals' health.
Permit's natural approach to working with animals from a young age definitely worked on his favor.
growing in a rural areas, growing in a farm, in sort of farm environment, growing around animals, exposed very well in dogs. I grew up with like 5-6 dogs at home, even though it was like more hunting and the security dogs, but we grow up there, and I understand that if I touch a dog, it's not going to harm me, or if I do 1, 2, 3 with dog, the dog will listen to me. So that thing, it really equipped me very well, that when I started here, I have that background of the dogs need to be taken care of. If you take care of a dog, the dog will take care of you.
It is here in this position where he discovered that he was also a people's person.
You know what I experienced with my clients, so when they have like sight before, and then they end up in accident, maybe car accident, motorcycle, gunshots, whatsoever, is that they come in, sometimes they haven't have enough time, with counseling and all those courses that they can go through. But and then they come here, they still think about what happened. They still think about, I know Johannesburg, or I know Pretoria, I know Cape Town, I've been there, but now I can't see all those things. That itself frustrates them. And when they come here and then you start, teaching them how to use a guide dog, and then at the beginning, it's not easy for them. It's very frustrating from being someone who can see and then end up being really blind. It's very frustrating for them than a person that have been born with that disability.
Let's take a quick break. When we return, we see exactly what these dogs can do.
Preparing for victory requires intense effort and teamwork. When you get to it, there is no turning back, because all eyes are on you. When it's action time, nothing should stand in your way. Sports Live tackles and analyzes all the sport action. This is the home of all your sport news, updates, and more. Sports Live weekdays at 8:30 p.m.
SABC News. We report, contextualize, and present news and current affairs honestly, fairly, and fully. We consider it a duty to provide consistent, relevant, useful, and top-quality information and analysis. Our mission is to provide credible, accurate, and interesting news programming, bringing news into everyone's homes in everyone's languages. Thank you, South Africa, for relying on SABC News for quality news output and for making us your #1 source of information. SABC News, Africa's news leader.
Welcome back to the show with me, Bophelong. The South African Guide Dog Association supplies thousands of people with physical disabilities as well as people who are visually impaired with service and guide dogs. These are more than just companions to these people. They assist with their day-to-day activities in their lives. Take a look. The South African Guide Dog Association is the only organization in the African continent that offers guide and service dogs to people with visual impairment and physical disabilities.
Our main purpose is to train practitioners who will go out into the community and work with blind people and train them in the ability to move around in their world, in their community, and be able to be independent.
The association breeds specific kind of dogs at their premises to monitor them from a young age.
The breeding that we are using, it's a very much selected breeding, which gives us that extra percentage on our work or in our matching. Labradors and golden retrievers, they are very easy dogs to adapt. Even though the goldens are a little bit, they take time to bond from a handler to a handler. but they are not difficult dogs to adapt to the situation. So we give them the dogs Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, they clicked. There is a bond. Due to that, they spend time together, they spend night together, during the day they're out together, so there's a lot of time. And the dogs, they understand when you really come in for a dog and that you really need a dog, the dog will pick it up that this person really needs me.
The dogs undergo extensive training to be of assistance to clients who contact the association. This instructor is training a service dog to follow commands and execute requests for wheelchair users and autistic children.
So Vincent is giving a sit command.
Down.
And then now it's giving a down command, which the dog have to lie down. Okay, he's dropping the lead, he tells the dog stay. He might be moving away. A service dog is the dogs that they help people that are in wheelchair. So if I'm a person that I'm on a wheelchair and then I drop something and I can't pick it up, and then I can ask my dog fetch or bring it, and then the dog will just bring my cell phone, my car keys, or whatsoever that's fallen down. So it's the dogs that they help a person that can't, I can say maybe person that's got a physical disabilities, a person that can't stand up and open the cupboard, can't open the fridge or the doors and stuff. So the dogs
can open the fridge.
Yes, the dogs open the fridges, they open the cupboards, they open and close. So the dog have to learn how to open a fridge and close the fridge. The dog have to learn how to open the doors and close the doors. The dog have to if you fall on your wheelchair, the dog have to go and get help. So that's our service dog. That's what they do. But as well with the dogs that are autism children. So as well, there's the dogs that they spend time with the children that have got autistics, and then help them to to feel free and to play, get something that you play with. And those dogs should be the dogs that are very obedient, softy dogs, very caring dogs that they will not just run with the child or bump with the child and all those stuff.
Service dogs are also provided with physical training to ensure that they are not under strain when they assist their owners.
He opens and closes doors, he puts on and off lights. At the moment, he's learning to walk in a soft harness with me with a crutch. He picks up anything that I've dropped, like a cell phone or my purse or even a card off tiling floor. Believe it or not, this dog, he'll get it. He has learned to call my parents if something has gone wrong. If I'm able to say, find it, then there's 3 main people that he goes and fetches. If I can't get that out, then he speaks. And everybody knows, if this dog barks, you better come running. It's serious. Before Khan, I was very secluded. I had my own little shell and I knew the people I knew, and it was my earphones and my cell phone, and that was it. I didn't talk to people. I didn't go out of my way to go and meet new people. Never mind do new things, because being stuck in a chair, you get the stereotype anyway. And it's difficult.
And have things changed since you got him?
Very much so. And if it actually wasn't for Khan, I wouldn't have met my husband.
And then I believe he played a very important part in the wedding ceremony.
Yes.
Yes.
He and my dad walked me down the aisle at my wedding.
Who gives this beautiful bride in marriage?
We do.
I was able to use him as my crutch, and he was there to alert people when I got tired. And most importantly, he was gorgeous in all of the photos, so he made me look better.
Absolutely amazing. Time now for a break. When we return, we'll be back with more.
the latest news from the SABC's online news services on our website. Breaking news and in-depth coverage of everything from business, sports to politics and lifestyle. Catch the top news clips and watch live streaming of major news events on the SABC News YouTube channel whenever. Stay connected on the SABC News Facebook page and have your say on news that matters to you. And for the latest headlines and live updates from our reporters, follow us on Twitter. SABC Digital News, anytime, anywhere.
Welcome to Network, a technology news program that also discusses what's trending in social media in and around Africa. MTN has launched its new movie and television streaming service, Front Row. If it's trending, we will find it. That's Network with me, Siphumelele Zondi, every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. only on the SABC News channel.
The son of Africa, Trevor Noah, is leaving America in stitches.
I never dreamed that I would one day have, well, two things really, an indoor toilet and a job as host of The Daily Show.
We are the first to bring you the latest films around the globe.
Dear white people, the minimum requirement of black friends needed to not seem racist has just been raised to 2.
Cobhams Asako is a gifted blind musician, a master of soothing notes from the piano.
I love to sit behind the piano. That also helps me find inspiration.
Join Refulo Mulwa every Friday for that 1-hour weekly dose of art and entertainment news at 9 p.m. on Trends.
Are you saying the king must go to jail? You are not royal blood, therefore you are going to serve time on behalf of the king. Where does the public protector stand on this matter? Are you with the marches, for the marches, against the march? If this is your ancestor, it is very much his ancestor as well, because this is the cradle of humankind. Is there God somewhere in your science? Drinking the blood of a person with albinism gives extra magical powers. A man of the cloth is involved here because it would mean that somehow religion is being brought into this part of the myth. What do you say to me? Watch Question Time with me, Mpho Tsedu, Monday to Thursday at 5:30 p.m. on the SABC News channel.
Welcome back to the show. The work that Permit does through the South African Guide Dog Association transforms lives. So we caught up with a young lady who makes use of a guide dog services, and this is what she shared with us.
Yeah, Permit. Good. Yeah, very good. Yes, good. Come, close the cupboard. Push. Yeah.
From service dogs to guide dogs, what separates the two?
The guide dog work itself, these dogs, what they are capable of doing is helping the visually impaired people to move from A to B, avoiding obstacles, which is one of the main thing that we concentrate on. So there is one thing that we teach our dogs, what we call a right shoulder wake. So due to that, our dogs, they walk on the left, they have to protect your right shoulder wake. So that is the key. If the dog is not good with the right shoulder wake, there is a chance that the dog can be withdrawn, or the dog can stay even longer in training. So right shoulder wake is the dog that realize a handler as an extension of its body. So they become a one thing, they become a unity. So that is one thing that we look to. And then secondly, that the dog have to avoid in any obstacles. Can be a brick on your pavement, can be a pothole, it can be a car standing on your pavement. The dog have to identify the car and alert you that we have to change the direction here. We have to go either left or either right. You see, so we teach the dogs how to find those. We got clients at the varsities, and when you go to the university, you got like 20 white doors. We teach the dog to find one door. In all white doors, we teach the dog. We expect the dog in 3 days, the dog must identify that door in a university area. It doesn't matter how many doors that you will walk past to get to that door. So it helps those people to find those doors easily, because they're all similar, they're the same, but they can't identify as a blind person. So the dog will find that. We teach the dog to find the shops. So if you want to go to Pick and Pay, we teach the dog Pick and Pay. And then when you get when you get to that environment, you get into that mall, you tell your dog to get to Pick and Pay. You encourage the dog, Pick and Pay, Pick and Pay, Pick and Pay, and then the dog find Pick and Pay. We teach the dog how to help the blind people to get on the skeletons, how to get on them, how to find them. So the dog, just encourage the dog, find the skeleton. The dog will get there, will give you a clue that I'm there by standing there as a blind person. You find a handrail, and then you can just tell your dog, come, and then you step on them. We teach the dogs to find the lift. They do lots of things. It's a process. So the visually impaired people, they apply for a guide dog, and then we send the instructor to interview them. Interviewing in the house and see that the person can move around the house. Take the person to outside on the street and see that the person can walk. They know their route, they know their area. They can really track the traffic and cross the road safe. And then we test them also the balancing, how good they are with the balance in really uneven area, or bumpy grounds, our potholes, our pavement, how they look like. So we also look at that. And then after that interview, we put that person on the waiting list, and then we wrote a letter to them that we have accepted them. So we will be looking the dog for them. And then when we are training dogs, we go back to the chart, to the board, and then we look for individual people. And then we go to the file. We said, okay, we want to see what is this person does and where he goes, and what is the age, what is the balance, and so on. And then we said, okay, this person can be suitable for this dog.
The work that Permit does through the South African Guide Dog Association is rewarding. Here is one of the guide dog owners who received their dog from the association.
I always knew about dogs. I always knew about them. But I didn't know that. I thought it was a white people's thing, and I wasn't blind when I grew up, and I just thought it was a white people's thing. I've only seen white people with guide dogs in movies and everything, so I didn't think it was something a poor black person can actually own. Even after you've gotten the dog, if you can't afford the food and the vet, they take care of that, and you get sponsors. I was lucky, I got a sponsor who sponsors Romy for vet checkups and all the vaccination, everything, and food. I get food every month, so they accommodate for people who can't even afford taking care of the dog.
Sisanda is doing her final year at Wits University for her PhD in anthropology with the help of her guide dog, Romy.
Sure, it was hard. It was extremely frustrating. Firstly, you sort of have to explain to everyone, and I remember at the dining hall, the first time I came, they didn't allow her. People in authority had to interfere, and sort of had to explain everything, and you're completely with her, you change your schedule. You can't just sleep in till whenever you want to. You have to feed her at a certain time, take her out, and so you have to adapt and accommodate her into your schedule as well. And it was frustrating at first, relying on a dog when you're not used to find your way. It's sort of like you're anxious, you're gonna find it, and yeah. But it turned out pretty well. After 2 weeks or so, I was completely happy.
So how has life changed since Romy became part of her life?
I wouldn't trade her for any other dog. I wouldn't. I've grown to love her. She's we are like BFFs. We are with each other 24/7. And I even get offended when someone refers to her as it. No, don't say it. She has a name, and it's she becomes your everything. She's like my everything because I'm with her 24/7 everywhere I go. And the joy if I leave her for 5 minutes and then I come back, when she jumps and she gets so excited, you can just feel the love. And it's just more than just a guide dog. She becomes a friend, a companion, everything.
Things aren't always easy for guide dog users.
What's that like when you leave
of the city where people are more open to dogs?
Well, people aren't open to dogs really anyway. Mostly in the black culture, really, it's a dog. Us black people see a dog as like a dirty thing. It's got to be inside. You can't travel with a dog or whatever. So it's a, sort of a challenge everywhere you go, really. You got to explain yourself. You can't even use taxis. Like, you have to hire a car, a special car that's going to take you from the bus station to home. You can't use public transport. It's a problem. Well, I don't use public transport. Taxis don't even stop if you have a dog. Like, they will tell you straight up, "Sisi njangeni la." Like, there's no negotiations. They do not, like, I've tried. Like, no. So it's like one of them, you gotta get a cab or ask friends when you wanna go somewhere with her. Yeah, so it's expensive traveling with her. If you can't just go anywhere, not unless you're gonna leave her. Then if you're really broke and you can't afford a cab, then you leave her behind. And usually my friends help me, but when they're not around and I need to get somewhere, then I take a cab.
Guide and service dog users rely on their dogs to get around. Without the help of her dogs, Sisanda's mobility would be even more restricted. We hope for a much more tolerant society for guide and service dog users. That's why we put together today's program. That's it from us for today. We will be back next week. Goodbye.